All right, carpenter spends a 40-hour work week and it's divided into fractions of the week. So a quarter of the 40 hours is spent ordering materials, half of the 40 is spent doing woodwork, eighth is spent talking to customers. My original, I'll do it the first way and then I'll show you another way. So real quick, we could add that fraction, all those fractions together. And then the rest of the time is cleanup. So then we would figure out what the fraction of the other time. So common denominator here, at least common multiple of 4, 2, and 8 would be 8. And if you have questions on this, I'm going to kind of speed through it. 4 times 2 gives me 8. So then I have to multiply the top by the same thing. 8. And we need a fraction of half. So 4 out of 8 is equal to half. 2 times 4 gives me 8. 1 times 4 gives me 4. And then 1/8 just stays the same because our denominator is already 8. So if we add all those up, the denominator stays the same. We add the numerators. 2, 4, and 1 gives us 7 out of 8. So remember that 1 whole, if in terms of eighths, would be 8. Oops. 8 over 8. So his whole time would be, 8 out of 8. He spends 7/8 of his time doing other things. So if we do 8 over 8 minus 7 over 8, then 1/8 is left doing everything else. All right. So again, just like the last one, we're going to do fraction to percent. So we'll do decimal first. 8 into 1. We have to add a decimal here because 8 won't go into 1. So 8 doesn't go into 1, so we put a 0 there, bring up the decimal. 8 goes into 10, so we ignore the decimal and it goes into 10 once. And then 8 times 1 is 8. Subtract 10 minus 8 gives us 2. 8 doesn't go into 2, so we add another 0 and then bring that guy down. So 8 will go into 20 twice without going over. 8 times 2 is 16. So 2. And again, it tells us what's the approximate percentage of time. So I'm just going to stop there because we don't need to get the perfect decimal. I already see that if I multiply this by 100, I move the decimal point to the right 2 places, and that's 12. And you could keep going with that long division, but our only option that makes sense for 12, like if there's if over here in our answers we had 12.2, 12.7, 12.9, then we'd have to keep going further to see what comes after the 2. But since our only 12 option is 12.5, we can just stop there. All right. The other way to do it would be to figure out like a quarter of 40, figure out the hours for each thing. But that is actually, in hindsight, that's going to be more steps. So I think this is the most efficient way to get there.